This is a quick video demonstration of how to configure your TP-LocoM5. These are access points and bridge devices that allows you to connect devices that they're in a remote location. These devices have an IP address of 192.168.1.20, and they're very easy to configure, and there are a few steps that you have to do in order to configure successfully. The first thing we have to do is connect the one nano station at a time. You can not connect both at the same time on the network, and it's very easy to connect. The nano station is going to come with a PoE injector. The PoE will power up the nano station, and also it has an extra port on that PoE injector that is labeled LAN. The LAN is what you're going to connect to your switch or your computer itself. So I already have one connected, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ping the default IP. And before you do that, you have to figure out what your IP scheme is on your network. There are some networks that the IP scheme is 10.1.10.120 or something like that. On my example, our network here is 192.168.1.1. That's my gateway. That's where my initial IP starts. Actually, that's my router IP address. So what I have to do is this. I have to, for example, I'm using a Mac, and the procedure is the same for Windows. For Windows, you have to go to the Start menu or the Start button, and then you type CMD, and then you do an IP config, and it will tell you all of that information. On a Mac, you can do it through Terminal, or you can go to the System Preferences, and you can go to Network, and you can see I'm within that same IP scheme. As I said before, these units have an IP of 192.168.1.20. So what I have to do is I have to see if I'm able to reach the nano station over the network. So I'm going to open Terminal. This is Terminal. This is like the command prompt on Windows, but this is for Mac. And the command I'm going to do is ping, and then I'm going to ping the IP of the nano station. Again, 192.168.1.20. Also, we have a tool, or we have uploaded a tool on our website that allows you to find these devices on the network. Again, you have to connect one at a time so you can configure the IP, so when you connect both on the network, there is no overlap. Okay, as you see, I have a constant ping, and I'm going to stop that. Okay, and I'm going to close it. I'm going to show you the Discover tool. The Discover tool, you can go to our website, support.techprosecurity.com, and download it from there. It's right here. Let me open up another tab. Go here. You go to Forms and Downloads, and you can type Nano Station. And there you go. It's this file right here. This is for Windows and Mac. So this is a bundle configuration of the bundled software that you can install on either a Mac or a PC. Alright, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to minimize this. And I have the tool already on my network. So as you see, right here it shows the first one. You see, I can see the hardware address, the firmware version, and the product name. So from here I can just right click and then go to Web UI or User Interface. Okay, it's going to ask me, because he's connecting through HTTPS, it's going to ask me to validate the certificate, and just hit continue. And this is the website, or basically the web service, as you can call it. You have to select your country, agree to the terms, and as you see, by default, everything is being populated, the username and password. But just so you know, the username and password is UBNT, and the password is the same, UBNT, lowercase. Click Login, and this is the interface of the unit. As you see right here, the first thing I will do is to figure out if the firmware I'm running is the latest firmware, and it is. This particular one at the time that has the 5.5 1.2. It is recommended for you to install these devices with the latest and greatest firmware. If you have one with the latest and greatest firmware and the other one is not, it doesn't have that firmware, you're going to have a problem trying to connect to. So that's it. Right now, what I'm going to do is very little configurations in here. And for example, the time zone. You can go ahead and we are Eastern Standard Time. And I can click change. Okay. Another thing I will do for security purposes, I will change the user administrator to something different. And then if you see here, there is a key that you can change the password as well, the default password. So you have to type the current password, which is UBNT, and the new password. And then just click change. Okay. I haven't changed anything, so nothing is going to change in there. Also notice that you don't have to, you can do all of the configurations first, then apply the entire configurations and then all at once. It's pretty much you do configure everything and then apply the configurations, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else. So the next step will be under network. This option will stay the same. The only thing I'm going to change here is going to be the IP of this Nano station. This is going to be my main station. This is the one that is going to be plugged into my network, and it's going to be pretty much shooting through the air the internet connection to the station or the receiver. Okay, so on this one I'm going to do 21. Okay, I know that that's not been taken on my network, and it's very easy to test. If you don't know, if you're not quite sure what IP you can assign within that range that you're at, you can do is you can open the command prompt. In this case, I'm going to open my command prompt on Mac, and I'm going to type an IP that I want to assign to this unit. I want to assign .1.21, so I do ping space 192.168.1.21. If I don't get any response, that means that that IP is not being taken on the network. Okay, so I'm good there. So this I'm going to change. Make sure you can change make sure you change the gateway to whatever your gateway is. As you saw before, my gateway was 192.168.1.1. So if yours is .1.10 or something different, you have to make sure you put it in. Okay. Now I click change, and that's it for this portion. You notice this is going to keep telling me that I have to change the administrator password. I'm just going to dismiss that for this demonstration. Now the next step will be going to the wireless tab, and these are the configurations I'm going to change. For example, this is going to be my main station. Again, this is going to be the one that is going to be shooting the signal to whatever devices are going to be connected to the receiver. This I'm going to configure as an access point, and make sure that you enable the WDS. Okay? The SSID is what this device is going to be broadcasting to connect to the other device, and I will tell you why. When you go to the second device, which is going to be your station, which is going to be the one that is going to be getting the information from the main station, is you're going to, because you have to configure it differently, you have to search for an SSID. This is pretty much when you go to your computer and you search for your wireless name, this is what it is, the SSID. So for this demonstration, I'm going to leave, or I'm going to put here Nano. That's fine. Nano M5 main. Okay. The channel width, I'm going to leave it at 40 Hertz or 40 megahertz. Nothing else to change here. I'm going to skip all of these options right here. I don't have to change pretty much anything there. I'm going to go to wireless security. I'm going to use WPA2, AES, and PSK. And you're going to create a passphrase. This is pretty much the wireless password, what the station is going to look to connect to. Okay, for this demonstration, I'm going to add Tech Pro. I'm going to put show. So Tech Pro security. Okay. I click change. Now notice this. This has been put like this. You have to remember this. You cannot, if you put the password, if you put the passphrase like this, this is the way that you have to add it into the second device. No capitalize, no something different. This is the way that you have to do it, otherwise it will not work. Okay? I'm going to click change. I'm going to choose main. As you see, there's nothing connected here. There's nothing is going to display so far, so we're good there. And make sure that this option is on, Air Max. This is a proprietary way to encrypt and connect Nano stations together. If this is not checked, you're going to have problems. So make sure that it's checked and then click change. Okay? I'm good to go now. So the only thing I got to do is click apply. And what's going to happen is the unit is going to reboot and it's going to take that new settings that I configure on. While this is doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. And when it comes back, I'm going to connect the second device. And this one, I'm going to leave it connected on the network because I already configured the IPs and all that, okay? My first unit, the main unit, has been rebooted. And you can tell because this is the new IP of that unit. And also connect the second device, which is going to be the station that is going to be connecting all of those devices that you wanted to view or view through the network wirelessly. So the next step will be to, again, use the tool, the Discover tool, and I'm going to scan. And there you go. It found the main one and the second one. Again, because the default IP is that 1.20, I'm okay leaving it like that. So I have two devices on the network right now, and it's time for me to configure the second device or the station device. Again, I'm going to right-click and Web UI. Again, you can tell this is the IP address of the second device, and the username and password is UBNT. Save it. Okay. So now, again, go to System. And the firmware version. You see, right now, this is an old version of the firmware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update it. For you to do this, you can go to, let me open another tab, and we're going to go to ubnt.com. These devices are Air Max devices, and the model number of this device is Nano TP-LocoM5. All right, we're going to go to Downloads. The platform, again, is an Air Max ISP solution. The model, we're going to look here, is Nano TP-LocoM5. And the latest firmware version, as you saw before, is 5.5.2. So I already downloaded this firmware, so I'm not going to download it again. So you can see where you have to go to download the information, and there is many documentations and white papers that you can watch if you'd like to. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to update this device. So I'm going to click Update. Choose the file. Choose on my desktop. Untitled folder. And there you go. And I click Upload. Alright. You can tell this is the last information you get that is ready to apply the new firmware, and it says the current firmware is 5.3.3 and it's going to be updated to the 5.5.2. While the unit is doing this, I'm going to pause the video, and when it comes back, and I will teach you how to configure the second device. Okay, the second Nano station has been updated, and again, it came back like this. You're probably familiarized with this this web service as we saw it on the first one. So again, the username and password is UBNT. UBNT for the password. Then select the country and agree to the terms. Okay. Now the next step is we already configured the network, so we don't have to do anything here. If you want to put DNS on any of these Nano stations, that's okay. and I will show you, if you wanted to access them remotely, I can show you where to go to configure that. But right now we're going to lock this device to the main Nano station. So the option for this second Nano station is going to be station, not access point or access point repeater, just station. And make sure that you have WDS. All right. And the next step is look for the main station. Remember, the main station is still connected on the network, and that's what is going to be shooting the signal to this station. So you can connect under this station. You can connect your megapixel cameras, or you can connect a DVR, an NVR, and so on. You can click select, and right now you see it scans all of these frequencies, and there you go. This is the main station. Remember, I put this SSID for the main station, and just click that little check mark right there, and then click lock to access point. And you see it auto-populates pretty much what I had configured in the other one. But as you notice, it doesn't populate the password phrase or the password that I configure for the wireless security on the main station. So I'm going to click show so I know that I'm typing it right. Remember, it was Tech Pro Security. You can type whatever you want, capitalized letters, numerical, whatever you want, and then click change. Okay, that has been saved. Then I'm going to go to main. Nothing happened so far because I haven't applied the configurations. I'm going to go to this tab right here. And because this is set up the station, you don't have the Air Max because it's already configured on the main station. It's going to be brought to this. So pretty much the next step for me to do is click apply. This is going to reboot. And if you notice, on the back of your Nano station, there are some light indicators. And what's going to happen is they're going to have some lights flashing and all that. And that indicates that the connection has been successfully done. Thank you for watching.